Good morning. I gotta put on some sunscreen, but it's day 2 in San Diego. And look where I am starting it off in Mission Basilica, San Diego de Alcalá, California's first mission. 1769. This is easily the oldest building I've seen in California. One of the oldest buildings I've seen in the country, to be honest. Look at this thing. This is insane. Up on the hill, we're gonna walk up and explore. Whoa, this looks like almost European, the level of this, like, you can tell this is super old ruins. Oh, and there's like a whole complex in here too. Also, is that like a water slide or playground slide over there? Yo, I didn't know the Spanish colonizers were into that type of thing. Dude. Sick tattoo. Man's like a scene out of The Exorcist or something. Dude, this is wild. This is, where the two fathers of the mission would live. This is crazy. This feels so old. Transported to Spain. This is crazy. Wow. Look at this. Huh, it's a loft. Who would have thought they had lofts back then too? I hate to disappoint, but the current church is only from 1930. It's a replica of like one from 100 years earlier. But there's still a lot of stuff here that is original. That's the tough thing. It's like, if it looks this good, it's not actually from 1769, considering all of like the wars and like battles that took place here, you know? This is La Capilla, this building. Ooh, that's graphic. Look at this. Yeah, it looks pretty old. It's crazy. There's so much more like quainter and like smaller than the European ones because there's less resources. These are like outposts of Christianity, as opposed to, you know, the center of it in Europe at that time. It's so cool. They have all these different trees from around the world. Like there's one from South Africa. There's another South African one. That's Australian. Oh, there's the playground. That's not part of it. So yeah, sorry to disappoint you all. It's a shame the cars completely ruined this like utterly beautiful scene. It's crazy. I think the Catholic Church actually owns this like land again, so like some of these things like the priest's sacristy, you can't actually enter unless you have like permission. It's very interesting. But the museum. So this is all from the U.S. military's presence at the mission during the Mexican-American War. It was 1840s, and then they stayed here through like 1860s. So it's like kind of Civil War, pre-Civil War American history right here. Look at this. Crazy. So they established an industrial school here in like 1890s through 1907. Oh my god, look. And these are little toys from like the turn of the century. That's crazy. From like the original Spanish settlements. 1700s. Iron. Spanish coins. Wow, this is like very European. Like I haven't seen these things in America ever, but I recognize them from the time abroad. This is so cool. And look, got a little display of what all the different Spanish missions along the coast of California are. Look at the old 1600s books. Man, this like music really sets the scene. But that was such a cool museum. It's all free, which is crazy. Like the fact that this mission went from like a way for, you know, the Spanish to claim land and also convert natives, and then became like an outpost during, you know, the Mexican-American War. Lincoln signed like a law that gave back the land to the Catholic Church. Then it became a conversion school basically for Native Americans in the 1890s to like 1907, you know, where they taught them like try to assimilate them into American culture. It's been through a lot, and then it was like rebuilt and restored in the 1930s when, you know, people realized that we should maybe preserve old things instead of just tearing them down.
When the woman had been called and stood at the door.
There's a church service going on, which is crazy to me still, how there's like a museum and then just actual church. So I think the reason that it was free for us is usually, it requires admission. I think it's because there's a mass going on and obviously the church is free. So because church is free, we get to go and just and see the rest of it, the whole area. So you got caught in the service.
Yeah, so I was just, drawing, minding my business, and then the music started playing.
No product placement. Zoom in. Yes.
Okay. Well, the music started playing, and people were like, oh yeah, can I get by you? And I was like, oh yeah, sure. And everyone was like, kneeling before they got in the row, and I was like, shit, I should have done that. But, I'm not Christian. But anyway, I saw the dude with the big staff behind me, and I was like...
with the big staff?
Yeah, like...
Moses?
Not Moses, Shane. No, probably the priest. I don't know what it's called. But I was freaking out because then I was like, I can't go past him to go out because then, I don't know, he'll curse me. So
no, you don't want that.
So I just started staying, and then they were like, can you all rise for like the Shiva service of this guy? I put it in, and then I assumed my most somber face. And then they started singing, and I started humming with them.
Oh, okay, good.
And
how'd you
praise the Lord. Then Dad came up to me, and he's like, I think you should go. After the procession went up, because I think it was the family with them, and I just felt horrible, and I was like, I'm just gonna pretend I'm like a friend or something.
Dude, I'll convert to Christianity if I can get like my service here. This is sick. I know like nothing about this place. I see there's like a sky ride, so that's really cool. What an entrance though. This feels like a theme park. It's huge. They should have roller coasters here. This is cool. Look at this. Going to our first exhibit. Let's see what this is.
These are birds.
Oh yeah, they always start with the birds. And always like, no offense to birds, I love them, they can fly, but they're like the least interesting part of the zoo, let's be real. Adorable. Some cool Australian stuff. Let's see, Africa rocks. Closer to the human, the more interesting.
Yeah, you have to be far away.
Yeah, it's eating. It looks like a human the way it eats. Yeah, opposable thumbs in. Of all the animals, these definitely have the most personality. Probably this is the most like evolved in human life. It's crazy. It's freaking San Diego's like a military city.
Selfie.
Need a water back there?
Oof, how much are they charging for water? Oh, it's $5 for a bottle of water. I hate this place.
It's further and away.
Definitely the most impressive so far. Look at the cameras. They're huge. There's the elephant phone. We'll turn our way. It's crazy though when you first like walk up and just see it. It's like, oh shit, it's big. What an interesting species this is. Look at those. They're all dressed so different. Look.
Can you see right there? Oh, go ahead. Front seat. Kids get front seat.
That line was definitely the coolest thing I've seen so far, I would say. Just watching it eat up close. But overall, it's, I don't know how I feel about the zoo. I mean, it's so packed because it's July 4th weekend, of course. It's a lot of, trying to get in and see the animals up close and like get around a bunch of people. I have weird feelings about the animals just being in these cages. It is strange. And oh my god, I will say though, again, I'm a huge nature guy, so my favorite part of these dolphins, just like look how high we are on this bridge. It's crazy. We're in line for Skyfire. Look at this on Skyra. Oh shit, there's downtown. Who knew it was right there all along? Let's see see what else we got. Whoa, look at that. Elephant exhibit. Forget the animals, just the immersive like landscapes they send you in are out of this world. He's got like dirt on his belly. Wow, I love this one right here. Is that toucan Sam? The aviaries are the best because you're in the environment.
Come in here, quick, Luca. You're gonna lose it. Oh, no, you're coming. You're gonna sit on the rock.
I always, oh yeah.
Oh, nice. Cross his leg.
I'm so high up on this platform. It's very cool.
Oh, whoa. I'm gonna cut the bridge. Oh no, please.
Leaving the zoo now. We're going to get a late lunch right outside of the park. And look at these cool buildings. I think this is just an event space, but it's beautiful. Look at these. Really impressed by this area of San Diego. Again, still not very super urban feeling, but it's nice. It's got bike lanes. It's very livable. I think we're gonna eat at this Mexican restaurant, Barrio Star, Mexican soul food, which sounds pretty interesting. Right across from this gorgeous church, which is right in front of Balboa Park. Museum of Us. That is amazing. All of us. This is so cool. Look, you can see the organist over there. Beautiful garden area. It's too bad, they're going at like 5 p.m. so all the museums are closing now, so you're not going to be time for any museums. But like these courtyards and just exteriors and actual gardens are gorgeous. Beautiful courtyard. I'm literally back in Europe here. This is one of the most un-American things I've seen in America. I never would have thought San Diego would look like this. This is gorgeous. Whoa, I like that. It's interesting. It's like some botanical building or something, but without the glass. We got a lot of vendors, some art. It's pretty cool.
Like, what about like goldfish? They like goldfish?
This is interesting. Sculpture court. These are all from like about 100 years ago. They were put here like 50 years ago. Interesting. It looks like it's like so old, like ruins, but they're really like from the 20th century. Oh, that's insane. Yeah, so all this stuff was created for like a 1915 exhibition that was here, and then they just kept everything. They've only had to rebuild a couple of buildings, but yeah, it's pretty sick. And obviously they put a lot of museums in here. You can see there's several here. Unfortunately, got to close. But you can still admire the architecture and just the whole area. It's great San Diego has kept this exposition area alive, because I know a lot of cities it's kind of like just goes under. Leaving Balboa Park now. Since everything was basically closed, it was really just walking around briefly, seeing all the cool architecture from the exposition. And now we're heading out to actually finally go to downtown, which is crazy. I feel like I haven't actually been to San Diego. We are now in the Gaslamp Quarter. You can see behind me. It's pretty lively. But yeah, no, this is pretty nice with the skyscrapers and everything. There's the famous convention center where they have Comic-Con. Can't see it now, but behind these buildings is Balboa Park, where the Padres play. I really want to see a game because it's one of the best stadiums in the MLB, but they're not in town, unfortunately, so I'll have to come back maybe later this summer. But oh, there's an escape room. That's fun. But yeah, no, it's just a cool, really cool area. It's crazy to me, like, to be in California in a city that actually has like a real downtown, because I'm so used to DTLA, which is like utter crap. And then of course there's the famous sign, Gaslamp Quarter. Historic heart of San Diego. Look at that, it's just so cool looking with all the palm trees. It's a very, it's a great vibe, honestly. We're walking around Gaslamp. Obviously it's all restaurants and we're still full from our late lunch, so it's kind of like, what do you do except just like see things? We finally found a shop. It's a big touristy shop. It's cool. The weird thing is this almost feels like it's like a big beach town. Like, this reminds me of like Myrtle Beach or something, like the southeast, but just a very big city version. I love the beer garden over here is a vibe. There's all these pedestrian only places. It feels like it has like a small city feel. It's quite big. This is gorgeous. That's a hotel. Oh my god. Yeah, the architecture here is fantastic. There's so many historic buildings still up. I'm just shocked that there's able to be this much money to sustain like so many restaurants. Like, we just walked past so many fancy and like nice places. Where we are, drive 20 minutes north, huge change of scenery. We drove past like a lot of places we've been, like Old Town and downtown, and also SeaWorld, which is kind of funny. And this is La Jolla Beach, the famous beach. We're just gonna, see it at night for a little bit. This is definitely like San Diego's Malibu. You can see the coloring is really interesting. It's a very like foggy sky right now. Like look at the clouds are shrouding the top of that hill over there, which is such a sight to see. Look at that. Again, very Malibu-esque, but this is a lot more quaint. What a change of scenery. It's like, we spent so much time inland in San Diego, I forgot, like, it's a beach city. Oh. The tides are great at night. It's pretty chill here now. It's insane. What a moon. Beach at night. Pretty darn scenic.